we're going to play Scale the Depth and we're gonna 100% achieve it. Get many fish. Oh, and that's my first achievement. First catch. So while I'm scaling back in the background here, let me tell you how this video is going to go. We're gonna show off every fish caught first, perfect scaling, and every bit of explanation towards achieving 100% of the game. Most perfect scaling will be sped up for the sake of time and to save your eyes from the slow scaling from me. As you can see from the background, I took my sweet time just so I can make sure that every fish caught will be perfect at the first try, or at least I tried to. And another achievement, perfection. First perfectly prepped fish. And now with the first two perfect unique fish out of the way, it's time to feed our first customer, which will also show all unique customers, as there is 2 achievements for feeding unique customers. Now that we fed the first customer, we're gonna show you the core game loop sped up. Now, the shop here in this game is basically the most important part of the game, as these upgrades will help us catch fish faster, explore and reach unique areas and chests, as well as scale fish faster. A perfect European perch. Perfect. Now, there is a feature in this game where you can basically ask your customers what they prefer, and they'll give you like some clues. So we try to figure out what this are, but basically we can neglect this because of a future bait. Oh, for the customer, they liked fit. Ooh, nice. So that's another achievement. 3 achievements in less than 10 minutes. We love it. So now that we know that the otter loves the Eurasian Minnow, we got a few of them, and by feeding him only the Eurasian Minnow, we're able to get another achievement. Oh, and a tip obtained, a well-earned reward for good service. A perfect cucumber smelt and a 3 spines stickleback. And that will be an osprey fed as well as a grey heron fed. We get a couple of upgrades, and with those upgrades we'll be able to explore a bit more and open up 2 levers. And we feed the grey seal. Now let's see what happens if I... Yeah, see? Okay, I don't like it. We catch Rough, and perfectly scale him. Something I haven't touched upon just yet is a cloth. While exploring and catching, there will be these cloths in certain areas. We need them to be able to purchase cosmetics, and as you can see we have 2 as of now, but we'll need more to purchase all the cosmetics. And we also just caught the European grayling and Arctic char. Here is the perfect scaling for the European grayling and the Arctic char. Well, since we have a lot of money, I want to also increase the knife. And why not? It's 2 upgrades. Let's try to get that guy again. Goes around here. Oh my. And we get to the Ferox trout. So before we go forward with the video, I've actually stayed in this clip because this is the first time I've encountered an artifact. And artifacts could be one of four things: a decal, so something we can put in our boat; an artifact for lore; a boat blueprint to get a new boat; or something we will need to unlock a cosmetic, or a cosmetic itself for the robot character we are controlling. And for this particular artifact, it was a decal that we can add on the boat. Here's the perfect scaling for the Ferox trout. We capture a sea trout, and we scale it to perfection. Well, I don't know which one she likes, but she said yes, so let's give her the sea trout. Fed Soki, and found another artifact. Upgraded my distance, and caught the European eel, as well as opening up another lever. Here is the perfect scaling for the European eel. Fed Kelpie. Fully upgraded my distance, or dive in time. Opened up a chest, and caught a brown trout. Here's the perfect scaling for the brown trout. We get our first message in a bottle. Even though it is categorized differently from artifacts, I see it as one, as it gives us lore about the game. And you know, it's a message in a bottle. What's more artifacty than that? We also get our first bait, and after equipping it, we got another achievement. After feeding a few more customers, we are then introduced to our first legendary customer, Nessie. And after some feeding, we listen to some dialogue, and we unlock the Loch Ness Legendary Customer Satisfied achievement. Now that we have fed Nessie, we have unlocked a new location, but we will continue to stay in Loch Ness to explore a bit more. A message in the bottle. We unlock the repellent, make it easier to explore. We unlock 2 new levers. Oh, okay. And we get a new bait. There's something here. Okay. Oh, I see somewhere. Go. Another treasure. Get a new cosmetic. And dress up with a new cosmetic. And we find our first legendary fish, Ether. We find another message in the bottle. We gain another chest, money. And we capture the Atlantic salmon. And we scale him to perfection. After feeding a few more customers, we get introduced to variant customers. These are basically just regular customers with recoloring. Some have 1 variant and others have 2 variants. Some variants take a long time to show up and we need to feed all of them to get an achievement. And with that, we just fed 2 variants in a row. Was it here? Yeah. Oh, there's 2 of them? Feed another great Coromant variant. Feed the variant of the seal. And upgrade our hook damage. Now we can get her, I believe. With that upgrade, we capture the Northern Pike and Bathier.
I got her. Ooh. Loch Ness legendary fish caught.
And of course, with them being captured, we also get the perfect scaling of them. Capture the red herring. Unlock the second level for the secret room.
I knew. The treasure.
And get ourselves a boat blueprint. We then equip the new boat and we unlock the achievement, new boat, new you. Get a couple of global cosmetics and perfectly scale the red herring. And feed the variant kelpie. And upgrade our bucket so we can have more fish to catch in one reeling in. With all the fish captured in Loch Ness, I decided it's time to move on to our next location, Huatulco. We will still have to revisit Loch Ness for all the variants, but we definitely needed a new location and soundtrack to keep us going. And I'm already loving this soundtrack. We catch Cortes Rainbow Wrath and Northern Anchovy. We of course obviously perfectly scale them as well. Feed the axolotl. Capture the barber butterfly fish and the pandemic sergeant major fish. And with these captures, of course, there's a perfect scaling. Feed 2 more regular customers. And we get our first 2 upgrades for Huatulco. Get the message in the bottle and capture a sea cortege club fish. Of course, alongside it, the perfect scaling. Capture the 3 banded butterfly fish and perfectly scale it. Feed the brown pelican. Capture a razor surgeon fish and of course perfectly scale it. Feed another customer. Found artifact. And captured the king anglefish. Perfectly scaled it.
Message in the bottle. And there's a bell.
Captured the giant damselfish and perfectly scaled it. Got a decal. Fed the customer. And found another message in a bottle. Captured a scrolled filefish and perfectly scaled it. Found a message in the bottle and fed a customer. Captured a spot-finned porcupine fish and failed opening up a door.
No. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh.
Perfectly scaled a spot-finned porcupine fish. And got the door open. And in one fell swoop, we captured the blue spotted cornfish, the red cornfish, and the mahi. And of course, we scaled them to perfection. We are then introduced to our second legendary customer, Ketsul Kowaro. We feed it, listen to some dialogue, and unlock the Watuko legendary customer satisfied achievement. We get some new bait, fully upgrade our rod's distance, unlock a new area to explore, get a new cosmetic, unlock another new area to explore, fed a couple of variant customers, and fully upgraded the knife. Now this fully upgrade is amazing because not only did it save me a lot of time in scaling fish, it just made it easier for me to basically clean up Watuko. Fed another variant and fully upgraded my hook damage. Captured the roosterfish and got a bunch of cloth. Perfectly scaled the roosterfish. Fed another variant customer. Captured a yellowtail surgeonfish. Pulled the lever. And unlocked an area so I can get to the deep faster. And we perfectly scaled the yellowtail surgeonfish. We found the legendary fish Hoga and captured it. And with capturing it, we get the Watuko legendary fish caught achievement. And of course, we perfectly scale it. So let me tell you about this door. I wasted a long time trying to get this door open, thinking I have to have both boxes on the button at the same time. I tried this so many times in between doing a few things, and this segment might get a bit annoying because I still can't believe I didn't notice this. Like this, look at this. It's opening right in front of me. How am I not paying any attention? Anyways, we get a new bait, a very useful bait. I love this bait, it just made things way much easier to farm as well and clean up. And got all the global cosmetic. Now as you can see, we tried, and again, and again, and again, and we got a boat blueprint, and again, and again, and again, and again. Where I just rage quit for the day and moved on to the next. Started the next day, we got an artifact, bought a cosmetic, equipped it on ourselves, found a cosmetic, and fed a couple of variant customers. And with that, we fed all of the variant customers. No! Oh, I opened it already. Nice. As you know from my earlier crash out, it was not nice. I know for a fact I was fuming that how could I be so stupid? And we also unlocked an artifact. And another bait. Alright. We buy some more global upgrades. And then we decide it's time to go to Outer Banks. So, Outer Banks does introduce new mechanics in both prepping side and reeling side. but not too much that it affects our gameplay. And I also completed Outer Banks the quickest out of all the locations. With that being said, right off the bat we capture a fathead minnow, a slippery dick, and the white crappie. Interesting fish names for sure. And we also capture the red small crayfish. And we also get a straw hat. Of course, with every capture, there's always perfect prepping as well. Okay, nice. With all that prepping done, we feed a few new customers.
Look at this. Yeah.
And we get a few couple of upgrades. We find a message in the bottle and capture a chain pickerel, as well as a bluegill. Perfectly scale and prep them. Fed a new customer. Captured an Atlantic herring and black sea bass. Prepped the Atlantic herring. Fed another new customer. And captured the summer flounder. Perfectly prepped and scaled the black sea bass and the summer flounder. Went on a collectibles finding spree where starting with a message in the bottle, then I collected a cosmetic, and I also captured a hogfish, got an artifact and another artifact and a message in the bottle. Of course, with a new fish captured like the hogfish, we perfectly scaled and prepped it. Fed another customer. Found myself another artifact. Captured the gaff topsail catfish. Found new bait. And another message in the bottle. Perfectly scaled the gaff topsail catfish.
That's why we need a better knife.
Fed a new customer. And got that knife. Got a new artifact that's smushed under the barrel. And another message in the bottle. Captured a long-nosed gar.
And an artifact.
And perfectly prepped the long-nosed gar. Fed a new customer. Caught a lane snapper.
Anything here?
And caught an American eel. Prepped them to perfection. Fed the legendary customer Octena.
Oh wow, we already finished with this location. So, Outer Banks legendary customer satisfied. Now it's true we finished the main goal of Outer Banks, yet we still had 4 more fish to capture, variant customers to feed, and 2 more artifacts to find. We captured the blue catfish right away and prep it perfectly. Feed our first variant customer. Buy a new bait. Play around with the legendary fish. Ignore it and get cloth and an artifact. And finally, we stop playing with our food and capture the legendary fish.
And with that, we get the Outer Banks legendary fish caught achievement, and we perfectly scale our lost Dimetrodon.
Wait there, I can see it. Wait.
Captured the Northern Red Snapper, fed the variant customer, and perfectly scaled the Northern Red Snapper. Fed a few more variant customers. Captured the black finned snapper and scaled it to perfection. With the scaling, that's all the Outer Banks fish captured and scaled to perfection. Fed a variant customer. Fully upgraded my knife and reel distance, and found a boat blueprint. Decided it was time to do some cleanup and go to Loch Ness. Did some farming and finally upgraded all of the Loch Ness upgrades. Fed the remaining variant customers. Bought the bait from the bait shop and got cosmetics. I also got a few more global upgrades. Before going to our final location, I decided it's time to do some cosmetic cleanup. As we have been already cleaning up Loch Ness and had one more cosmetic to purchase, I continued on there grinding a bit more until we finally got it. With all cosmetics purchased, I decided the next grinding location should be Outer Banks. Outer Banks was a little bit more grindy than the Loch Ness cleanup, as not only did we have to get all the cosmetics for it, we were lacking claws to buy them as well, as trying to find that final variant customer, which took a while to show up. But eventually, we did get all the cosmetics, and fed the final variant customer in Outer Banks. And now that we're done with Outer Banks, it's time to head to Huatulco, the final location before we get to see the new location. It was a little bit more grindy as we had to find claw, but I did find that Huatulco had the best cloth areas. They are too close to each other, and I did show you a few spots right there before feeding a few customers. We eventually had more than we even needed, so we got all the cosmetics, and now we just needed the bait. So it was just more grind of scaling and feeding the customers. Now that we have purchased everything, in addition to all global upgrades, it was time to head off to the next location, Point Nemo. With Point Nemo being the final location, I was a little bit saddened as I knew the journey for Scale the Depths was coming to an end. Yet you are here to achieve. So let's get the capturing, the scaling, the exploring, the finding, and jamming to the soundtrack to begin. Just like every other location, we begin with capturing new fish, starting with the clownfish, the regal tang, and the Moorish idol. I wonder where we've seen these species of fish before. Anyways, here's the perfect scaling for all three. Fed a couple of customers. Got our first message in Navarro, then captured the black spotted puffer and the Titan triggerfish. And as per usual, we perfectly scaled it. Got our first artifact and caught the Pacific cod, and unfortunately didn't perfectly scale it. No. So annoying. Find message in the bottle and deliver. Oh, perfect. We're gonna make perfect stuff.
After I redeemed myself with the scaling of the Pacific Cod, we fed a few more customers.
Oh wow, really? Okay, let's just give him everything. We catch the spotted parrotfish and perfectly scale it. Found the message in the bottle and got a new bait. Decided it was time to upgrade my rod and knife and captured a scholar. And of course perfectly scale it. Fed a couple more customers.
Captured the Big Eye Pacific Opa and unlocked an entrance by solving a puzzle. Perfectly scaled the Big Eye Pacific Opa and somehow captured an unnamed fish. Very weird.
And captured the yellowfish tuna. And of course we perfectly scaled them. Fed a new customer. 3 seconds. Or a method in the bottle. Caught the ocean sunfish. And scaled it to perfection. I go explore the area we unlocked to recapture the Fang Tooth, the Pacific Black Dragon, get a couple of artifacts, open up a lever, and find a message in the bottle chest. Here's the perfect scaling for the Fang Tooth and the Pacific Black Dragon. We get introduced to the final legendary customer, the Kraken, where we immediately feed it and get the achievement Customer Connoisseur for feeding every unique customer. After the handler finishes yapping, we are also rewarded with the Point Nemo Legendary Customer Satisfied achievement. After watching the credits and the handler yapping, we get the crowned achievement for finishing the main game.
We grabbed some money and captured a giant oar fish and also captured a swordfish. We perfectly scaled them . Feed our first variant customer . Fully upgrade our knife, pulled out a lever, found a bait, and an artifact, and then captured the legendary fish, or alien, Apophis 99942. And with his capture, we get the true fisherbot achievement for catching all fish, as well as the Point Nemo legendary fish caught.
With it caught, it was time to go and find some more treasures. We start off by finding the final message in the bottle, which earns us Elite Explorer achievement, and find ourselves a cosmetic. Our buckets got filled while looking for treasure, so here's the perfect scaling for the Apophis 99942. With the perfect scaling of it, we get the Prep Expert achievement. Fed a few more variant customers. Bought the recycler bait to get some extra money. Just look at that cash flow coming from the junk. Fed another variant customer. And got the Deep Pockets achievement for getting all the upgrades. Fed a couple of variant customers. Found the last boat blueprint to get the boat collector achievement. And now in this stage, what was really left for Point Nemo was purchasing all the cosmetics, the bait, and feeding that final variant customer.
I just gotta show you the grind, you know? It takes work. With all the cosmetics purchased, we get the fashion icon achievement.
Finally, after taking so long, the final Point Nemo variant customer showed up, got fed, and we earned the Deluxe Customer Entertainer achievement for feeding all the unique variant customers. Purchased the final bait, and found out it wasn't actually the final bait. Found it in Outer Banks, and got the achievement Master of Bait. I then realized we were still missing one more achievement, so I had to go around and still look for it, and with the help of the treasure tracker bait, I was able to find the last decal and finally get the Decal the Lighter achievement, which earns us all of the Scale the Depths achievements.
That's everything. That is everything.
Hey, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to watch the video and getting here to the end. I also wanted to share a few thoughts about the game. Scale the Depths was genuinely a game I enjoyed. I didn't realize it at the time, but it's essentially an incremental game, which isn't a genre I think I've played before. Normally I'd just say that I liked the game, but I want to be a bit more comprehensive with my thoughts, and also have these segments after I finish fully achieving the game. Scale the Depths felt like a fast-paced experience to me. While the beginning was fairly slow, the way it built up and introduced its mechanics and lets everything click while after playing feels great. The controls are easy to pick up, but mastering them was genuinely satisfying. By the end of the game, I had learned the perfect amount of speed to use while scaling the fish, which allowed me to consistently earn the perfect scaling each time. Except for that one time, you know. The exploration is simple but top-notch, and I really admire what the developers have created. I do wish there was a bit more content, as I don't feel like 4 locations was quite enough. But that being said, considering it came from an indie team, I think they released the game when they thought it was ready, and instead of overextending the project. So I would definitely recommend giving Scale the Depths a try. Thank you again for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.